know what you guys are thinking. I'm going to come on here and I'm going to be like, oh boy, we won. We're back. The GOAT is back. The greatest quarterback and wide receiver, couple is back. Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers. No, that is not what we're going to be able to talk about on this episode of the PACKSHACK. Now, don't get me wrong. Am I happy we won? Definitely. A win is always good. Always good. We are 6-2 now. Hopefully we can keep going and not do a win-loss every other week. But this is my issue with this week. Okay. The Packers faced the 49ers. And now it wasn't the 49ers. It was the secondary 49ers. And we're going to dive into this in a second. But we beat a team that literally had none of their starters. I mean, don't get me wrong, it sounds bad. It's not every single starter, but all the ones they need. We're going to go over the injury list here for the 49ers this past week against the Packers. And then we'll dive into why I'm angry about this week's win. So, starting off the list, now, $80 million worth of contracts were on IR this past week for the 49ers, leading with quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo. Has an injured ankle. It has a $26.6 million contract. He's not looking at being back until week 14. Cornerback Richard Sherman out with a calf injury. He had a almost $14 million contract and is not coming back until potentially week 11. Solomon Thomas, one of their tackles, has an ACL. He has almost a $9 million contract. It's like 8.7. He's done for the year. He's not coming back till 2021. Nick Bosa, ACL, almost $8 million contract, out till 2021. D Ford, injured back, a $6.5 million contract, not expected back until potentially week 12. If I could talk there. Tight end George Kittle has a foot injury with a almost $6 million contract, is out until week 16, potentially. Week 16. Raheem Mostert, ankle injury. His contract is weirdly pleasing. He has a $3,333,333 contract. I wonder if he did that on purpose. But his potential return is week 10. Their center, Ben Garland, is out with a calf injury, a $2 million contract there. Sorry, I thought I was going to sneeze. His potential return is week 10. Mark Ziacha, if I'm saying that wrong, I'm sorry. He's out with a quad injury, has a $1.5 million contract, week 10. Ezekiel Ansah is out with a biceps injury, almost a $1.5 million contract, potential return 2021. Tight end Jordan Reed is out with an ankle, potential return week 9 to 10. He has a basically a $1 million contract. Wide receiver Jalen Hurd is out with an ACL. He's done for the year. He has right under $1 million contract. Running back Jeff Wilson Jr. is out with an ankle. He's not expected back until week 12. Wide receiver Chris Thompson, injuries undisclosed. I'm going to assume maybe COVID. I'm not sure. But his potential return is unknown. And wide receiver Jawan, I'm hoping I'm saying that right. If I'm not, once again, I apologize. Jennings, undisclosed injury, potential return is unknown. So, literally, we faced a team on the 49ers that didn't even have their team there. Okay? And we let them score 17 points on us. Now, I'll give it to them. I'm going to say, honestly, the 14 points that they did score touchdown-wise are in the fourth quarter. I understand a lot of people would look at that as the, trash time. I don't care. I don't care. They all had secondaries. secondaries. They should not have scored on us like that. And we only scored 34. We had to punt it away, I think, twice. We had a couple field goals that we had to kick. No, we should have had that. Now, Aaron Jones is just, coming back from an injury. Jamal Williams is out. Alan Lazard is just... I don't think he's ever coming back. I really don't. I actually kind of want to know. Let's look him up here fast. Because I know he was injured. So, no, he is not. So, okay, he's back in practice, but they're trying not to re-aggravate his injury. So, I hope he gets better. I hope he gets back in. Devontae Adams and Marquez, they're picking it up, but, we need our full team. Anyway, so we're going to jump into the Packers side of the box score here. Aaron Rodgers had 25 completions out of 31 attempts for 305 yards with 4 touchdowns. Now, once again, like I said, it was great, but look at what the 49ers were hurting on now. No interceptions, which is awesome. I'm glad a secondary team didn't hit us like that. Rushing-wise, Aaron Jones carried the ball 15 times for 58 yards with a 3.9 average, no touchdowns. I'll give him a break. It's his first week back. I'm surprised they let him carry it that much. I really thought they were going to bench him for most of that game. But, hey, we just couldn't get the run game going. Tyler Ervin had 8 carries for 24 yards, 3 average, no touchdowns. Malik Taylor had 1 carry for 9. Dexter Williams had 2 for 8 yards. Aaron Rodgers had 1 for 7. John Levitt had 3 for 6. No rushing touchdowns this past week. Receiving-wise, Devontae Adams, once again, back in the game, hitting those, big yards. Had 10 receptions for 173 yards, a 17.3 average with 1 touchdown. Now, people are quoting Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers as one of the best, if not the best, quarterback and wide receiver couples in the NFL. Do I disagree with that? No. I think they work great together. I think Devontae Adams would be even further than he is now if the Packers had played it smart and, I don't know, picked some people up in the draft. Anyways, Marquez Valdes-Scantling had 2 receptions for 53 yards, a 26.5 average with 2 touchdowns. He picked up a... that's actually pretty funny because I believe one of those passes were a 52-yard touchdown. But Tyler Ervin had 4 receptions for 48 yards with a 12 average, no touchdowns. Aaron Jones had 5 receptions for 21 yards, a 4.2 average with no touchdowns. Robert Tonyan Jr., a guy who a few weeks ago had popped up. I know he went out with an injury for like a week or 2, came back, hasn't been doing anything big. He had 1 reception for 5 yards with a 5 average, of course, with no touchdowns. Darius Shepard had 1 for 3 yards, with, no touchdowns. Mercedes Lewis had 1 for 1 yard and 1 touchdown. Mercedes Lewis, you crack me up because he is all across the board on there as 1-1-1-1. Jay Sternberger had 1 for 1 yard, 1 average, no touchdowns. Sternberger is another one that I thought was going to pop up and really hasn't. Defense-wise, we got the interception. Raven Green. I don't think there was any fumbles. Not too sure on that. Now, I know Jair Alexander went out with a concussion, so hopefully he'll be all right. I know he's going to be out for a good couple of weeks, if not the rest of the season. That's going to hurt us. Our defense just... don't get me wrong. We stopped the secondary team, but 34-17. We were letting them get warmed up, and I understand it was getting to the last quarter. We tend to lighten up so we're not hurting ourselves there. I'm not saying we should have played hard the whole time. It was a secondary team lineup there, But come on, we gotta, just too much letting them run over us. We need to wrap up, tackle. Same thing I've been saying almost every week, especially in the losses. We have to get it done. So they kicked up there during the second half. I will say the defense did, but injuries came down, and it happens. Kick returns, John Levitt had one for 5 yards. No touchdowns, of course. Mason Crosby had 2 field goals, plus the 4 extra points, scoring 10 points that game with a long of 53. So, hey, he hit everyone. Punting-wise, J.K. Scott had 3 for 154 yards, 51.3 average. So, okay, we punted 3 times. See, in my eyes, for a team like us playing a secondary team like that, that number should be 0. We should not have punted at all. And it hurts to see that we punted that much. I would have been okay if 1, possibly 2, if you're just, trying to run the clock down. But, but it was just, overall, Nick Mullins, he almost had the same yardage as Rodgers. Jerick McKinnon, I think I said that right. He had basically the same amount of yards as, Aaron Jones. Richie James had 184 yards, and the wide receiver had receiving yards. So, boom, there's matching Devontae Adams. Overall, just they just couldn't get points on the board the whole time. But to the 49ers, I hope you guys get better. I know it's the $80 million in contracts sucks, even having that many injured players. Me personally, I love George Kittle. I think the dude's great off the field. I think he's great on the field. I'm not going to down a team just because they face my team, win or lose. But I hope they get better fast. Injuries like that suck, and I don't wish injuries on anybody. And to anybody on the COVID list, I know we had A.J. Dillon was on ours. I hope you get better. Anybody on the 49ers, I hope you get better. NFL overall, I wish you all the best. But, so that's my take on this week. I'm happy we won, but I'm not happy how we won. If that makes any sense. So I hope you guys enjoyed this week of the Pack Shack, and we will see you guys next week, where I believe, if I remember correctly, we are facing the Jaguars. Yep, Jaguars, Sunday the 15th at 1 p.m. So I will see you guys in the next video.